Hey there and welcome back to XCOM. My name is Pete and today we complete another episode of our XCOM Enemy Within Ironman Impossible walkthrough. In the last episode we continued our hunt for the last few remaining achievements of the game. We shot down 2 UFOs and then engaged the aliens in a terror mission. A mission during which we encountered not 1, not 2, not 3 but 4 Sectopods, and somehow we managed to survive without injuries. We then proceeded into the next month and we are actually in a new year now, so let's start scanning and see what that year has in store for us. As you can see, we still have the battleship crash site from the last episode, but we will leave that one be.
Contact detected.
However, just a few seconds later we encounter an Abductor-class UFO, and since this one also appeared over North America, we do not yet have our fusion lands ready again, so we'll have to make do with the EMP cannon.
Bangs out. Approaching target now.
Right then, that wasn't too difficult, so let's take a quick look at the remains here. An ethereal and probably several sectoid commanders are actually intriguing. That is not the worst setup to go for the mental minefield achievement, but in the end I decided against it. I'm pretty sure there will be more missions like this, and we have to shoot down plenty more UFOs, so let's simply keep scanning. A request for 8 combat stims here will then promptly be denied. We don't need cash, we don't need scientists, so there is really nothing to gain here.
Contact detected.
And there we go, already with UFO Encounter Number 2 of the episode. So let's bring our takedown counter up to 17 and see who or what is on board.
Engaging bogey.
Okay, so a crew size of 8 but only 1 psionic enemy on board. That would not be the worst setup for the Lone Wolf achievement. Actually, it is pretty damn near perfect, so I can't really tell you why I skipped this mission. I think I was just too focused on looking for psionic enemies and forgot for a second that we still had other achievements to work towards as well. Be that as it may, it doesn't take long until we have our next interruption in the form of yet another council request, but again we are going to ignore that. Finally then, our mission for today pops up. It is, yes, once again another terror mission. This time the aliens have struck in Kaduna in Nigeria, so let's assemble our squad, fly over there and hope that we don't get swarmed by Sectopods again.
Central, this is Big Sky. Confirm signal uplink. Strike team is in position near the terror site. Awaiting confirmation.
Solid copy, Big Sky. Strike 1 has been given the green light. Your highest priority is to protect those civilians.
Right then, I am not a particularly huge fan of this map, especially not for a terror mission, since it's rather small, and there is almost always a guarantee to run into several alien groups on the other side of the building. So let us maybe scout out the inside of the building first, as usual with a long dash from Sharky Sentoso.
Let's do this.
Somewhat surprisingly, she does not detect any hostiles, so up next we are moving our snipers into position, Rosilius high up in the air and Michelle on the ground, aiming into buildings from the outside while using the Archangel armor can sometimes be a bit tricky. The rest of our squad then simply moves up as far as they can go, and that's the end of our turn. Let's see what the aliens do. Right then, looks like Sectopods are back on the menu. Let's hope though that this mission is not going to be a repetition of the last one.
Hostile spotted.
At least the second group of enemies here are then only plain old chrysalids. Still, we now have 6 active hostiles on the map, and of course no way to take them all out in one turn. So let's do the next best thing and activate Combat Rush with Resilience here. That will eliminate the Chrysalid and still allow him to take a second shot against the Sectopod.
Taken care of. See you in hell.
That Sectopod is also why we activated Combat Rush earlier, because I would really like to disable it for one more turn, and as you can see, Michelle can really use that 10% aim bonus, so let's hope she can connect, otherwise we have to get creative. Okay, so that's the Sectopod already down to roughly half health, and even more important than that, with its main weapon disabled for one turn. Now, using Ghost Armor, we can move up with Kim here, just to be on the safe side, and then we can use a grenade to do further damage and also take out one of the drones. The second drone meanwhile remains out of sight, and the third Chrysalid is also so far away that I don't think we have to worry about it just yet, so let's take two rather mediocre shots with Louisa here. Since she is cloaked, at least the critical hit chance is somewhat high. Unfortunately though, both attempts go wide, so let's move up a few tiles here with a net and have her try her luck, and as you can see, the results are a little more promising. Finally then, we are taking a horrible shot with Andrea here, just because we can. To no one's surprise, that one does not hit though. So let's wrap things up with an Overwatch here and see what happens. Right, so it looks like Overwatch was a good idea, as it now gets rid of the drone, and it also reveals a group of mutons standing right behind the wall here. Meanwhile, the third Chrysalid also moves up, but as expected does not get into striking range. The Muton Berserker, however, rushes in and comes face to face with Andrea, which actually guarantees us the next achievement, but more on that in just a second. Now, priority number one is of course still to take out the Sectopod, so let's do that and go for the headshot here with Palladium Talpas. She lands a critical, bringing our enemy down to only one hit point, and that means Resilius, who only has one shot this turn, is guaranteed the kill. Now, up next we are taking a free shot here with Sharky Santoso. That eliminates the Chrysalid, activates Combat Rush and still allows her to move. And conveniently enough, that move allows her to go right next to the Muton here, which she can now take out with rapid fire.
Okay.
Up next, we are now going after the Muton Berserker, and since it is standing right next to Andrea, she does not have to move, which means we can use the Kinetic Strike module twice in the same turn, enough to completely evaporate the Berserker's 25 hit points, and also to unlock the Someone Your Own Size achievement.
Initiating close quarters system.
And that leaves us with only one single Muton, and since it only has 10 hit points, we can easily take it out with a double Mind Fray. And there we are, 3 of 5 enemy groups have already been taken out, but we have also already lost 3 civilians, which, to be honest, is not the worst thing in the world. After all, we are far beyond the point where we're doing these missions for the raiding. Now, at this point, we can continue scouting and ideally do so from higher ground. And look here, that also already reveals our next group of enemies, a trio of heavy floaters right next to the wall. So let's get everyone into position with CFD Lupai and Annette on opposite sides of the door here. Our 2 snipers meanwhile can use their jetpacks to move up to the 2nd floor, while MEC Trooper Andrea Cook reinforces the breaching position and goes on Overwatch. Okay, so this is what I meant at the beginning of the mission. This parking lot area here behind the building is usually full of enemies, and in our case one of those is yet another Sectopod. However, it appears as if our enemies are really fond of each other, and huddled so closely together they do of course present an excellent target for a rocket. Now, very importantly, there are 2 civilians next to the 2 police cars here, and for mission raiding purposes we should try to lose only 1 more. So let's aim our rocket carefully here and make sure to only blow up 1 of those cars.
Rockets away.
Now, in hindsight, it actually would have been smarter to use a regular rocket here. That would have done a little bit more damage to the floaters, and it would have allowed us to now kill them all with this next move.
Heading to that location.
Thanks to her mech armor, Andrea can easily shrug off the Sectopod's reaction shot here. And then she can use her Electropulse module to disable that Sectopod and not quite kill the other enemies. With only 1 hit point left on all of them though, the rest of the way here should be easy going. Annette can get herself the first kill, and then Sharky Santoso can hopefully clean up the other 2 with her pistol. That will conserve a bit of ammunition for the next turn, for which she is already in a prime position to take out the Sectopod for good. Now, I think we could end the turn right here, but let's do what we can. A flying pistol shot from Michelle does a few more points of damage, and let's also have Rosilius move into a better position here, just in case he does have to get involved. It doesn't look like it though, so let's bring things back over to Luisa Sharky Santoso, who can now take 3 shotgun blasts, and that should hopefully be enough. And there we are, quick and easy this time. It's not every day that you complete a Terra mission in, I think it was 6 turns, but those are the benefits of a small map. Let's just be grateful here that we had a bit more enemy variety compared to last time.
Not a single casualty. I'm certainly impressed by our soldiers' combat abilities.
So here we are, back in the base after, again, a surprisingly quick mission, and we even got some melt out of it, unfortunately though not enough to complete any of my plans.
Remember, we will be watching.
And I think since this is going to be a short episode either way and we are not too far away from the end of the month, let's keep scanning for a while longer, probably until the next council report.
Incoming transmission.
We are extremely impressed with the progress of the XCOM project thus far, Commander. Your recent results were beyond our expectations, and that is not a statement this council makes lightly.
So, another A grade for us. I think that is well deserved, as panic levels all across the globe look fantastic.
We will be in touch, Commander.
Now, we could keep scanning here, but having just completed a full month, I think this is a good point to make the cut. We are 1 achievement closer to full completion now, and maybe in the next episode I will be a bit more adventurous when it comes to taking UFO missions. The 2 we skipped today were both pretty decent, and I also don't want this series to turn into a Terra mission marathon. So stay tuned for the next episode, and in the meantime I do hope that you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then I would of course be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already, grab some merch over on shop.petecomplete.com, or check out and maybe even pledge to the Pete Complete Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.